Hi everyone. Sorry. Hi everyone. Welcome back to Crochet Rocks. Tracy here, and well, horrible out there today. We just had some icy hailstones. Yeah, really horrible. But I've been indoors most of the day. I had to get up early and go take Gary's car in, so we both had to go so he could sort of use my car to drive us back. Whenever we go out, I always say, "There you go, what I mean." I don't know why. I used to be, "I'm driving." Now it's, "You're driving." Anyway, got back, and that was it. Then I got stuck into doing some work, and as you can hear, my voice is coming and going, a little bit like a karma chameleon. It comes and goes, but I feel a bit better every day. I just wish that I could get all this gone, to be honest with you. My antibiotics run out today, so I'm hoping I don't need to have to go get more or another lot of different ones or whatever. I'm hoping it will just continue to get better every day. Today I filmed, once we got back and settled down, I filmed an open with me. Well, actually I filmed two, but one was the second part of the Crochet Lace magazine, which is gonna, like, popped up already. It was due due to pop up Friday, so that was yesterday for you, today for me, because today is your yesterday and your today is my tomorrow. Just saying. Anyway, yeah, it popped up yesterday for you, and the other one will be next week, but God, I didn't want to do two right on top of each other. Excuse me. I'm almost out of lockets as well. I messaged Gary while he was out. He had to go, and he left his work card in his car, so we had to go out and get it. And I tried to call him to get me more, but he didn't answer, and then he didn't look at his phone. So I'm hoping I've got enough to last me until he can get some when he's at work tomorrow. He's going to have to use my car because they can't do his in time. So I'll be housebound. Probably the best thing for me with this rotten mess that I have on my chest anyway. But I did get, while I was filming my second open with me, I did get a gigantic order from Stylecraft. So yeah, that was good. And I've been checking that off, checking off all the patterns and everything else. I've got to give them a call anyway. I usually call them because when I order it, if I paid for it there and then, I would now have to have a credit note because there was things not there, it was out of stock. So I call them, get the price, and then I will pay them. But I need to talk to them anyway because a few things in the order I'm not quite sure of. Anyway, I'm going to be uploading a video for that soon. I've got to film it obviously, but I feel like I've spoken enough today, really, with filming two of those magazines and now this. So I'm gonna put them on the website, which is at least silent, and unless I talk to myself will I do it, which, you know, I've got to say, I mean, sometimes I do. It's the only time I get intelligent conversation. I'm joking. Gary will slap me silly. He wouldn't really, but you know, I do occasionally mutter to myself. I mean, I think most of us do, even though we might pretend we don't, but we do, don't we, really? And we talk to the cat, which we know is really talking to yourself, basically. Especially when you've got a cat as bloody minded as I have. Oh, that bed, was she going anywhere near it? No, it's beautiful. And okay, it doesn't look like there's a lot of space in there because it's puffy and squishy, and so if she went in, you know, it would really, really cuddle her. It'd be, honestly, it's beautiful, but she would go nowhere near it. got a blanket the same. I thought I could, you know, when I wash the little cushion inside, I could roll the blanket up and she could use that. So maybe I'll have to put her old cushion back and put that blanket on top of it and just hope one day that she just meanders into that basket. She's a terror. She really is. Try and do things that are nice for that cat. And what does she want? A cardboard box, you know. I pampered her as well, but no. Let's have a look at this, shall we? Right, I think I need the specs today. So, oh yeah, this is a brilliant one. So this is the weekendy one. I love these things. She really tells them off. These are her little droids. And yeah, she's always moaning at them and making them do jobs and having little arguments with them. I think that's so cute. I love them things. I don't even know what they're called, but droids. That's what they're just droids. You know, they work in a workshop. I love the Mandalorian. I hope and hope and hope that they carry on with that. Don't end it. Okay, so I think I've turned the page in the book, Mum Jokes. When it comes to eating vegetables, my kid is like a diamond. She only cares about the cut, the colour and the carrots. I was a tiger mum with my first child, but now I just kind of hang around and watch my second one. So more like a sloth mum. At really 10 months. Got the side eye from the PTA president for mentioning there should be an open bar at next week's fundraiser. Calm down, Carol. It's not like I said we should do shots. I actually quite like that. I actually, some time ago, I mean, I didn't last long, but I was asked to become a school governor. And I don't know in the US if you have school governors, but we have this body of school governors that sit and have meetings with the head and perhaps the deputy headmaster or mistress. And you all sit around the table and you discuss things and discipline and what should be done about this child and what should be done. And I just didn't like it. I don't know why. I didn't like any of them, you know. I took an instant like, oh, you're a bit of a Hitler, you know, that sort of thing. And not that I'm like loosey-goosey lacy, you know, I'm not, you know. I'm getting away with murder with me, especially bullying and stuff like that, because, you know, no. But, oh, it was just so, really. I couldn't be doing with it. It's like, I'm going to really upset people now, but, you know, I reckon they all like lentils, you know what I mean? Just saying. Sorry if you're a vegetarian and you happen to like lentils, but you know what I mean? They were all just a little bit, oh, no. Lentils are nice, actually. I quite like lentils. Let's just get it out there. I had them in my soups and they're fine. It's just... backtrack. Sorry. Oh. I don't know what we can call those sort of people. You know. my term for them all, whether they're man or female, is like Earth Mother. That's what I usually call them. You know, ones that they know everything. You know, them. I just couldn't do it. And also, I hate meetings. When you know, it's like, do I have to do it? And it's an honour, is it? Oh, okay. I didn't last long. Nah, don't need that kind of honour. No, thank you very much. No. So anyway, it didn't last long. So I think in the US, maybe you have the PTA. That might be what it's all about. School governor, PTA. I think that's similar thing. Yeah. Not up my street, really. You know. No. Especially, let's face it, there's going to come a time when I'm a governor of that school, and they're all discussing my son. It's what? You leave him alone? No, honestly, it was not even my son's school. It's just a joke. Okay, it's a joke. It wasn't my son's school. It's a different school. In fact, it's Sophia's school. It was like, not my kids didn't go those schools. But you know what I mean? It's like, not my thing. This is where I regret not bringing a drink in. Oh, hang on a sec. Field trip. Well, only kind of a leaning field trip, but I have this, which is good to know in case of emergency. Like, I might need an emergency water. I'm at that stage, you know. If I have a fit of coughing, unfortunately, it's lockets are the only thing that will quieten me down. And even if I'm kind of wheezy at bedtime, lockets are the only thing that will calm me down and get my, well, it calms my throat down, you know, and I can get off to sleep. So actually I was, I had a good night's sleep last night, and it was going to be a brilliant night's sleep because I was tired, but I started watching a documentary about Gary Oldman. I think that's his name. I always get mixed up with the one that's played Lee Harvey Oswald. Yeah, it wasn't Gary Oldman, it was Gary Coleman. You know, what you talking about, Willis? Him, that guy. So, yeah, not Oldman, Coleman. So, yeah, I was watching that. And it was interesting, but I was getting more and more tired. Gary went to bed. And he said, are you going to go to bed? And I went, yeah, I will soon. I'll just watch a little bit of this. And that was it. I just fell asleep in front of it. And when I woke up, it was ending. The credits were going. So I thought, oh, I missed the best bit, really. So I had recorded it, which is a good thing. So I can go back and find where I was up to and watch the rest. But I thought, okay, I'll go to bed. And I thought, oh, no, I didn't make our breakfast for the morning, you know, the overnight oats. But I thought, that's going to wake me up too much. I'll get bacon out. We'll have bacon and egg. So I did that. I got bacon out. And then I thought, well, I'm going to bed now. And I got into the bed and it was cold in there. And you know what, when you're real hot and cosy and sleepy, and then suddenly you're in a cold place, it's like, oh, I'm wide awake now, you know. So I thought, should I just go and make the oats? So no, try and sleep. Next thing you know, I've woken up this morning. So it worked, thank goodness. But it should take me a little while. I fancy falling asleep in front of the TV. Should have just said, I'm recording it anyway. I'll go to bed now. Not me. Nearly messed it up for myself, but thankfully I did sleep. So, and that's an improvement because I'm no longer being kept awake by it. So it must be getting better. It doesn't feel much better, but it must be. And I know my voice is a lot better. And yeah, just slow going, I think. So excuse me, breathed in at the wrong moment. Nearly swallowed air that shouldn't have gone down that pipe. So yeah, I've got quite a few patterns and some free patterns from the Stylecraft order. So I've been doing these knit kits, as you know, and hang on, field trip. These are the box I bought, the ones I lost for ages. Oh, where were all the patterns, Trace? What did you do? What did you? Oh no, I can't show you them. No, I can't show you them. But some of them, mostly the free ones are all knitted. They are absolutely all knitted. Some of the free patterns I have not got the yarn for. But now I've seen the patterns, I think, oh, I could just get like a pack of that and make a few bundles up of that. That, you know, sock yarn sort of thing. Things like that. Or a couple of them are mittens and things. So, you know, that's going to be quite easy to just do a few kits. But the thing I'm really excited about was a lot of them are crocheted that I bought. So I can sell patterns that you pay for, but I can put them in my kits too, can't I, really? So I've been researching as well. That's what another thing I was doing yesterday. Bigger boxes, because obviously if I was going to do a sweater, not going in there, is it? not the yarn anyway. So yeah, I've been looking into where I can get decent, not too expensive boxes, because you know nobody really wants their crochet or knitting kit pushed up in price by the fact that I've had to buy a fancy box. So these are good enough, you know, it's just that they don't make, unfortunately, these type of boxes much bigger than this. So I'm still looking. You know, there were some that were cupcake boxes, quite deep ones though, with a clear plastic front, and I thought, so put yarn in that, pattern on display, look good. Trouble is, cupcakes are not as tall as yarn, so you know. But I'm still looking into them all and doing all that, so that's good. I'm enjoying myself. You know, years ago I used to work for myself, I had my own little business, and it was let me see, how can I put it? Underwear plus. I don't mean plus sizes, although there were. When I mean plus by novelty items and the occasional things that buzz. Oh, did I say that? You know, zzz, little maybe appliances you could call them. So anyway, like if you're familiar with Ann Summers, it was very similar, only better. It was infinitely better than Ann Summers. It was called Peekaboo. It was my own little thing, and I had a friend called Mavis. Yeah, her real name, Mavis. Her husband Jeff. He was a whiz on computers, but back then it wasn't even Windows, you know, it was like DOS. And he did a little thing on his computer and designed for me stationery and adverts and stuff. And he printed them out, and then I would just get loads printed out, you know, photocopied is the word. So sometimes I could even get colour, which was brilliant. So, and this one wholesaler that I had some catalogues, so I thought, that's brilliant, you know. I had stuff from lots of different wholesalers, but not everything was in the catalogues. And then a lot of stuff in the catalogues I would say I wouldn't want to sell, so I say, I'm sorry, that's discontinued, even though it wasn't, because I knew that it was just awful. So and then sometimes I'd go out and I'd find a wholesaler that had stuff that was in my catalogue but cheaper from them than it was from the guy who I was getting them from. So I had loads of wholesalers, and they're all in the heart of London. So we used to go driving to London and dustbin sacks full of stock, and I would come home and I would do my parties, like party plan. And this was when my children were very little, and because I was funny and as I said, my stuff was infinitely better than Ann Summers, I was busy every night. Every single night. And on the run up to Christmas, people would be saying, can I have a party? And I'd have to say, I'm sorry, I haven't got any dates free. If anybody drops out, can you call me? I go, yeah, sure. But then after Christmas, no, dead for a few weeks, and then it would gradually pick up. So seasonal. And then, you know, people would be buying lots for summer, and then it would just drop off, and then it would all build up for Christmas. And this is how it went, like in a couple of cycles a year. But I was never without anything, and it was getting more and more busy. And then my children both started school, and I didn't want to do that anymore. I wanted to work during the day and be there for them in the evening and get them from school and all that. So as it was, I would pick them up from school, we'd have tea, and then when they went to bed, I'd go to work. That's how it used to be. So I loved it though. It was fun, it was sociable. I used to get invited into people's homes. They'd shower me with food and drink, and well, tea mostly, but you know, they'd just keep giving me stuff, and you know, money. They keep giving me money as well, because I would do a raffle, and the raffles were always 2 or 3 prizes, so they were always really, people were very oversubscribed. So, and I could live on my raffle money alone, you know. I was really raking in money back then. But I give it up. And I just said, no, I don't want to do this anymore. I just go and get a proper job, sort of thing. And then started working for the man. You know, the man. Nobody likes it, do they, when people do that? But worst decision I ever made in my life, really, working for the man, because they're all I got stuck. Did you see that? I actually got stuck. I got stuck. It was like the word I wanted to say, realised it wasn't the word I wanted. Idiots was what I really meant to say. But I was going to say like they're all dunces. They're not, they're dopey, like idiots. You know, they couldn't run. Couldn't run for a bus, let alone a company. So yeah, I was I'd would have hated every job I ever had, basically. So and I'm amazed I stuck with some of them as long as I did. But I always really, I should have drawn on that experience of that little bit of time when I actually worked for myself and how much I absolutely loved it. And it was a labour of love. You know, I loved choosing the range. I loved every single thing about it. And I gave it up for working with a man, you know. Certifiable. Totally certifiable. But, you know, I wanted to be with my kids, so this is probably one of them now. Or one of them's Mrs. It is. Oh, hang on. She needs a reply. I better... Good job I saw that. She was telling me off. I need to reply straight away. Okay. It's in my interest, I suppose. Anyway, I won't elaborate. So, yeah, I should have thought, you need to work for yourself again. You need to do something else, maybe. Maybe that wasn't your kind of... It was. I was good at it. Don't get me wrong, I was. But it was, you know... And it was something that I never had to push on anyone, you know. If I did Tupperware, I'd have to beg, have a party. But I used to just sit there and people would ask me, can I have a party, please? Can I have a party? And I'd go, yeah, sure. And I'd get my diary. So I never had to do that, which was fantastic for me. But, you know, it's not something I could ever go back to. The wholesaler I used to use just give up a long while ago. And it's all a different world. You can buy these things in a supermarket online now, you know, which you never used to be able to do. But not that I sold that many of those, you know, it's mostly all the underwear. But you get the odd occasion. Different world now, though, with online and everything. It's all different. But, you know, I should have thought, do something else then. You know, sometimes I look back and think what I should have done is take on other people so that maybe I didn't have to do it anymore, or I could just do a few and I had other people doing them. That's what I should have done. And I whistled then. That's what I should have done, but I didn't do it. Just give it up. That was that. And I suppose in a way it was destiny, wasn't it? I wasn't destined to be Miss Whiplash anymore. No, I wasn't. So I was destined to be Miss Knitty Crochet instead. But, you know, we all have to find our niche, don't we? Is what I'm saying. But I've only had thought all those years ago, you know, why don't you just do that? You know, I really wish I had. Because I would have been so much happier, you know, in my little self and in my work. But never mind. Can't go back and redo it, can you? You can't have a do-over. It is, as they say, what it is. And you know how much I hate that saying. But yeah, I'm doing it now though, and I'm loving every second of it. The only thing I'm not loving is the bulkiness of it. It's like, I said to Gary, there's 2 great big boxes of yarn needed to go down the caravan. Yarn-a-van, sorry. And I already had one yesterday. And something else came. Can't remember now. So he's already took and I thought, I haven't really just about found places to stash that one. And this one's got no chance whatsoever. So he's brought them in. And I looked around and I thought, oh, where am I going to put this? Never mind. In the boxes it's in. That's what you're going to do. You're going to leave it in there because they seal up nicely. And you know where they are. which is what I had to do when I first got jitterbug and all of that, because it was just in the glitz. That was where they were, and I knew where they were because that's what that was, you know. But I just recently got rid of all of the cardboard boxes, and everything was in those plastic totes, you know. Well, I don't have totes. I've got one big one, and it's not going to touch the sides of that. So I've either got to go buy more totes, in which case they're just going to be stacked on top of each other, or leave them in the box that it's in. So for now, the box that it's in is the idea. But, you know, I've also got to do, oh, how common are you? Got to do the boxes of kits and stuff like that. I've got loads of work ahead of me. But as I said, I am loving it. Yep. I even loved doing my tags. Now, I mentioned earlier that I was certifiable, and I think I must be to say that. But, you know, even doing that, it's sort of, I should be more on the ball with my admin. I really do. I should, you know, I should do that. But I'm very good at that. I mean, it was my job for many years. I was an admin person. I did office work, and I used to put systems in for companies when there's failed, you know, and it's like you need a way of working. So as soon as I started doing this, I've got a little routine when I get the post for the orders, and I do all that, and then I have a little routine of making sure everyone gets their tracking number and how and when I close them off. So yeah, I've got little systems in my head, but I really need to get systems of paperwork nailed down so that when it comes to tax time, I'm not thinking, oh my God, you know, big job. But the last few years, it's not really been a big job. Yeah, just that the next one will be bigger because, you know, built a little bit in the year. So, yeah, I just need to be a bit more, I need to get some filing done. That's what I need to do. A system of keeping receipts, putting them there, having a, Gary bought me this for Christmas. Is it here? Yeah, he bought me an accounting book. Self-employed accounting book. And look, I've got all this month. You can do the whole month's accounts and stuff. Have I done any? Let's have a look, shall we? Shall we look and see how many pages I filled out? And bearing in mind, we're now in February. First page. I don't want to mess it up, so I keep thinking I'll figure out how to do that, or what to put in it and all that. Do you know what I really want to do? And this is something I actually really want to do. I want to do a bookkeeping course. I want to actually do a little one, not like an intensive thing that I'll be an accountant for somebody. I just want to do a little bookkeeping course so that I'm not, you know, I don't need anyone else. I don't like the idea of employing an accountant and all that sort of thing. So I just think, well, you know, it doesn't have to be hard, does it? But when I did business studies at school, it was called business studies, but we did shorthand, typing, commerce, all of the things like English, and office practice, which did teach you about, it taught you about the equipment of the day, faxes, telexes, remember telex, the telex machines, and all that sort of stuff, you know. Word processors were brand new then, and they were teaching us about that. So office practice, and it was also like other stuff to do with that, but there was an accounts part as well. Now, I might have told you about this, but we had a teacher for our accounts that looked like someone had dug him up. You know, he was mega old, and he had a very difficult voice, and he would say, and this column is your debit column, this is your credit column. So when you get your goods in, where does that go? And so you're thinking, goods in, debit column. No, it goes in your credit column. What? And then it's a double entry bookkeeping. So it all goes in your debit and your credit column. He's like, why? Why though? And he would just not be able to answer that question. It just does. So doesn't tell me why I'm doing it. So this went on and on and on, and he had the most boring voice, and he was old and crusty, and not one single solitary person in that group could understand what was going on. And every single one was like, "Sir, don't move on to the next thing. We haven't got a clue what you mean." And so he would then try and explain it again, but it was just too old, basically. And so if he ever had the art of teaching, he had certainly lost it. So consequently, none of us were learning anything, and there was obviously going back to the other tutors that nobody was learning anything. So in the end, it was deemed we weren't going to be doing that module. We would carry on, do the rest of it, but not that module. So we didn't do it. You know, we just had another free period of study groups, but we didn't do accounts, which was a bit of a shame, because I'd love to know, you know, if he had been a dynamic young teacher that could have imparted that knowledge and you could have got it, I wouldn't need to do it now, would I? But wouldn't it be funny if I get there and I'm like, I don't understand what you're talking about. You know, so maybe he wasn't bad after all. But no, I mean, it wasn't just me, it's the whole class. None of us knew what the heck he was on about. And so unfortunately, I never did do that. I'd like to. I would. And I'd also like to do a bit more. When I was at uni, I did a bit of website design and things like that. I'd like to do that again. You might say, you have one, but it's different. It is. It's code that I would have, you know, did before. Anyway, I think I've babbled away in this corner for quite a long time without a drink and without a coughing fit. So there again is a bit of an improvement, isn't it? And I've done all my little chores, my little books, and yeah. Oh, so I am now off to, I've just given Gary his lunch. We had soup. So I'm just going to go and see if he wants a hand with dinner and upload this video. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching. Oh, by the way, if you're one of my new subscribers, welcome to my little vlog. Usually I'm far more, what's the word, professional and interesting. Obviously a little under the weather at the moment, so, you know, it's usually far better than this. So, anyway, I'm going to go. I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now, guys.